Isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. In this video, this is related to the post of Sir Lawrence D. of Car Camping Philippines. In his post, he said that he needed to use at least 3 power supplies to be able to use his refrigerator for I think 2 or more days. In his post, I was tagged several times and people were recommending the OCPH Powerhouse, and maraming salamat po. I just would like to thank everyone for the trust and confidence po sa OCPH Powerhouse. Let me share with you some tips based on my experience using portable refrigerators and best practices that I have seen other campers and people are doing using the portable refrigerator. So if you indulge me, let's go deeper into the subject. I believe there are 3 major factors that can help you prolong the use of your portable refrigerator. One is the temperature setting. Second is insulation and ventilation. And third is battery source. So let us break this down. Temperature setting. It's very important to use the right temperature settings for your portable refrigerator. There's a big difference between -20 and setting it at -5 or even -10. -20 will naturally consume more energy because the compressor is required to work harder. And given everything else is okay, I mean insulation is okay, battery source is okay, -5 will keep your ice cream or your ice frozen. Same with -20 kasi 0 lang naman kailangan. So setting the right temperature is important, but having said that, there are other factors that you can do to help your refrigerator keep that temperature. One is practice pre-cooling. Pre-cooling is letting your portable refrigerator run for several hours before you put in stuff. Ako po ay plug my refrigerator overnight the day before kami aalis. I let it run overnight using the AC adapter. Wala pong laman. I put it on max and let it run. And in the next morning, doon ko na po nilalagay yung dadali namin. And these things that I will put inside this portable refrigerator also came from the ref. Pinalamig ko na rin po sa loob ng kitchen refrigerator namin. In this way, hindi po siya nahihirapan when you put things inside. Okay. And that brings me to content. Yung pong refrigerators na tulad ng mga portable refrigerators, remember, they are designed to keep frozen items frozen. Unlike our kitchen refrigerator, even if you put fresh fish or fresh meat, leave it a few hours, pagbalik mo, frozen solid na siya, di ba? So these refrigerators are not designed to do that. They can, I have seen that done, pero that would require putting and leaving it on max setting, tapos hindi mo siya bubuksan for a long period of time. Hindi naman ganoon ang paggamit nun. Also, yung pong laman will also determine how hard the compressor will work. I mean, kapag pupunong-puno yung ref, mahihirapan po siyang to keep that temperature. In the same way din po, kapag naman po konting-konti yung laman, same effect din po. So again, this brings you dun sa importance ng having the correct size refrigerator for your use. Kasi if you have a small refrigerator and you're now required to always, parati siyang puno, mahihirapan po siya. In the same manner, pag malaking-malaki po, you have a 75-liter, 100-liter refrigerator at konting-konti naman lang po yung kinakailangan yung dalin, ganon din po yun. Mahihirapan po yung compressor to keep the temperature. These portable refrigerators, mas mahirap po kasing i-maintain yung temperature ng hangin when it is empty as compared to when something frozen is already inside. In my observation, mas malakas po yung consumption ng refrigerator, na portable refrigerator kapag wala na siyang laman. And another thing is the right temperature for the environment. Ako po, when we are camping in the heat of, the dry season, summertime, mababa po yung temperature na ginalagay ko. Usually, I will go down to -15, but I seldom do the -20, 15, or -10. Because I noticed that even if I set it at -15 or -10, outdoors, kasi mainit, it never really reaches that temperature. Maabot lang siya ng -5 or at least below freezing. Pag naman po, December, January, February, if you're camping somewhere cold like in Camp Ragzac or in a cold environment, maski po -5 lang, it's fine. You don't have to bring it all the way down to, the maximum lowest temperature niya. And using eco mode is also very helpful. Kapag po malamig naman, use eco mode. It saves a lot of energy. Next factor is insulation and ventilation. If you look at these portable refrigerators, this is a TWW55 Alpicool. If you look at the lid, there is a rubber seal around it. Unlike our kitchen refrigerators that uses magnetic seal, so maganda po yung seal niya, most of these refrigerators only use a parang rubber gasket, and they get easily worn out. So check if those are worn out na, or worse, if they're missing. Kasi pag wala po yun, mahirapan po yung refrigerator to keep the temperature kasi parati siyang merong singaw. I remember one time we were in Batangas, we were snorkeling, we rented these paddle boats. And sa laot na po kami, and out of nowhere, this guy came out selling ice cream. He was just, may yakap-yakap lang siyang ice cooler. And he was selling ice buko and ice cream delights in the middle of the sea. And I noticed nung binuksan niya po yung ice cooler niya, meron siyang cloth sa ibabaw. Pinapasok niya lang yung kamay niya, ilalabas. So he doesn't open it right away. And that is that's a very good way of practicing proper insulation sa mga ice coolers. And this applies to, even coolers, people who use coolers and refrigerators. These refrigerators, the way they are designed, sa ibabaw po kasi yung kanilang lid. So every time you open it, you're basically letting all the cold air escape. So the more you open it, mas mahirapan po yung compressor. So this is the same way how the balot vendor keeps the balot hot. So if you want to help your compressor save more energy, you put a cloth sa ibabaw. So when you open it, hindi mo binubuksan lahat, and it will help insulate and keep your items frozen. Also, use thermal covers or bags like this. This helps keep the refrigerator running smoothly. I mean, the compressor is not working that hard, but not all the time. There are situations na you are better off without it. If you are camping like beachside or riverside, out in the sun, walang shade, having these thermal covers, or not necessarily these fancy covers, just put something over it, it will help shield the refrigerator from direct sunlight. But if you are camping somewhere relatively cold, if you're camping December, January, February, if you're camping somewhere in Camp Ragzac or anywhere na malamig naman, having just the bare ref, mas madali siya eh. Kasi the ref is not able to vent out the hot air kapag mayroong cover eh. So, kapag malamig naman yung lugar, just, leave it as is. It will work better. Next is the placement of your refrigerator. Where will you put your refrigerator within your campsite? Of course, it is always better if you don't put this where it can be, under direct sunlight. If you put this, in my experience, dun sa if you're camping beside the beach, yung pong warm air, it may be refreshing sa atin, sa balat natin, but kasi it absorbs that, the longer it is exposed to that warm air, nahihirapan po yung ref. So, put something in between to shield it from that. It will help the compressor keep the temperature cold. And lastly, battery source. There are many factors that can affect your battery source that will help you prolong the use of your refrigerator. One is, of course, the state of charge. No matter how big your battery capacity is, kapag po hindi naka-full charge, hindi masyadong matagal ang gamit niyan. And that is why having a Bluetooth app that you can look at, check on your battery without, going back and forth where the power supply is placed sa camp mo, is very helpful. Having the battery state of charge visible to you at all time, even yung discharge mo, really helps. And also battery health. Again, there are many things that can go wrong, but ang usual po is unbalanced yung battery pack. I will just link another video which I did many months ago, why a balanced battery pack is important. Pero if your battery pack is unbalanced, it will prevent it from fully charging, and the same way it will prevent it from discharging fully. So, hindi nyo po nagagamit yung full capacity ng battery pack if it is unbalanced. Again, having a Bluetooth app like the Smart BMS app of the OCPH Powerhouse can give you that information. Nakikita mo kung balance or hindi. Next is, of course, if you have other charging methods, like if you have a solar panel with you, of course, again, as I have said previously on other posts, the solar panel has to be big enough to give you ample charging. Contrary to most people think, hindi po kasi 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. ang solar charging. In a day, you only have basically about 5 hours worth of sunlight that can be used for solar charging. Tanggalin mo pa yung cloudy, umulan. So if you're using a 100 watt panel, that is not going to be enough to charge, especially if you have a big 280 ampere hour. You have to have a more than 100 watt. I have tested the OCPH Powerhouse using 4 320 watt solar panels. It was able to generate around 40-45 amperes in mga noon time po yun nung ginawa ko. And of course, lastly, using the right battery capacity. If you are using let's say a 720 watt hour battery supply, and using it for a ref, your ref, a basic, 45-55 liter refrigerator will probably consume between 1 kilowatt to 1.2 kilowatt of energy per 24-hour period. And that depends pa yun sa environment, how often it is used, yun po sa mga binanggit ko kanina. So, hindi po talaga magkakasya if maliit yung battery supply mo. And you also have to consider when you're out camping, hindi lang naman po yung ref ang usually yung paggagamitan yan. You are going to use, you might have a fan, you might have, you also charge your gadgets. If you have a laptop, you're going to also need that to be recharged. And sa gabi, you have the lights. So it is always better to really have a bigger capacity battery bank. Or you have solar panels, or a better option is a DC-DC charger. But I'm going to throw a word of caution using DC-DC chargers. DC-DC chargers are far more effective than solar panels. However, if you use the wrong DC-DC charger for your battery pack or for your vehicle's alternator, there's a big chance that it will damage the battery pack or damage your alternator. Mas mahal po yung alternator. So, my suggestion is use a lower amperage. If you are going to use your stock alternator, use a low amperage, 20, maybe 30 ampere to 40 ampere lang. If you are going to use a higher, the 50 plus, the 70 to 100 ampere DC-DC chargers, make sure that you will also upgrade your alternator to a bigger one. But for us, weekend campers, just the correct size battery pack will be more than enough to power your ref, to power your refrigerator, to recharge your gadgets and devices, and provide you light for that full weekend of camping. So I hope that was helpful, and again, shout out to Sir Lawrence. I hope this helps. Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat, and thank you for watching.